Hello and welcome to the Shadow Puppet Theater, the science of shadows. I'm Ray.
And I'm Greta.
Hey Greta, you ever made shadow puppets before?
Sure. Like at sleepovers when I was younger, we'd shine a flashlight on a wall and use our hands to make bunnies and birds and stuff. It was fun.
That's awesome. Well, have you ever wondered about how shadows come about? The science of them?
Not really, I guess. I know that you can't have shadows without light.
Yeah, that's right. Because a shadow is created by an object blocking the light. Light travels in straight lines until something stops it or makes it change direction. So if we shine a light at the wall, the light bulb creates the light, which then travels to the wall, bounces off of it, and then hits our eyes so we can see the light on the wall.
So when we block some or all of that light, we're creating a shadow. So a shadow is the dark area where light from a light source is blocked by an object.
Exactly. So outside, the sun shines down on things like trees and houses and us, making shadows on the ground. And as the earth moves around the sun, the shape of those shadows will change.
And inside, we can make shadows by blocking light in certain ways, and we can create shapes that look like things we know, like bunnies and birds.
Yes. And you can change the size of those shadows by moving the object closer to or farther from the light source.
What kind of objects?
Well, any object, really. But some objects make better, more visible shadows than others. For example, an opaque object makes a great shadow, whereas a transparent object doesn't.
Oh, that's because you can't see through an opaque object, so it blocks the light. And transparent objects like clear glass and water, you can see through, so they don't block the light.
Exactly. And translucent objects like sheer curtains, tissue paper, stained glass are middle ground between opaque and transparent.
So they let some light through, just not much?
Right. Enough to see some light and shade, but not enough to have distinct shapes. And we are going to be using all types of these objects to create our shadow puppet theater.
Then we can use those shapes and our imaginations to tell a story.
So let's get started. For this activity, you'll need dark cardstock or any opaque thin cardboard like a cereal box or a milk carton. A pencil or a marker, 3/16-inch dowels, or cut the sharp ends off of barbecue skewers or use sticks. 1/8-inch brads or twine or yarn with the ends knotted on either side. 1/8-inch hole punch, or poke a small hole and use the string or yarn to join it. Some tape and scissors.
You'll also want a foam core or cardboard box, butcher paper, and a lamp to light up your stage.
So now that we've got all of our supplies, we're going to make our patterns. You can draw them freehand, like I will be, or you can use a pattern, like Greta. And so, Greta, tell me, what are you drawing?
I'm going to make a brontosaurus, and I'm going to have moving joints for the tail.
Oh.
But I also think I'm going to make some scenery, like some shrubs and trees.
Awesome. Okay, your dino puppets can have moving joints or not, and you can add whatever scenery you want. Once we've drawn and traced our patterns, we can cut them out on our cardstock. Now that we've got them cut out, we can connect our joints and make them move.
Cool. So I'm going to use a hole punch to make a few holes, like here and here, and then I can use these brass fasteners to connect them. If you don't have brass fasteners, you can use string or yarn instead.
That's awesome. Oh, but we still have to add our dowels or sticks to make our puppets maneuverable. Okay, so tape the dowels to sections of the puppet you want to control. Fold the piece of tape over the end of the dowel so that the tape is half on the dowel and half off. Then tape the flexible folded tape to your puppet. Use 2 dowels, 1 in each hand, and experiment with limbs you want to control some limbs work well on their own, using the tabletop to create movement. For this sauropod puppet, ooh, what were you making again? Brontosaurus?
Mm-hmm.
For this Brontosaurus puppet, we'll put on some dowels on the body and one on the tail, and where could we add more joints?
Maybe the neck or arms and legs?
Ah, all right. Well, great idea. Now, our puppets are ready for the stage.
Stage? We didn't make a stage.
Oh, no worries. Making a shadow stage is easy. For a tabletop setup, cut out a rectangle out of the center of a large piece of foam core or cardboard. Then cut 2 large triangles and tape these to the back of your frame to make it stand up. Or you can use a cardboard box like we did.
Just be sure to cut at least 1/2 inch inside the edges. We also added these very fancy red curtains for some extra flair.
Then tape white butcher paper to one side of the frame, covering the entire opening so it looks like this. Once your stage is ready, position the lamp behind the puppeteer. You can even try putting your puppet in front of a lamp that's pointed at a wall. No screen required.
And now we're ready for our puppets to take on the stage and tell a story.
That's right. And you can make up your own story. Just follow the link below for a simple story template that will help you create your own story. Then use your dino-shadow puppets to act it out.
If you want to, you can even film and send us your stories. We would love to see them.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Ray.
And I'm Greta.
And we'll see you later.